Rodney and Dan Zimmer came out and stayed with me, and we started Zoo York. They had Zoo York on paper, and that was my next pro board, was the first Zoo York board.
Zoo York V2? Zoo York like version 2?
Zoo York version 1.
I'm lost. Okay, after, I'm just saying after Planet Earth and stuff.
After Planet Earth.
Okay, like where we were. So you were riding for Planet Earth, but you were here in the city at that time.
Yeah. I was actually living. I was living at right across from Gone Boarding.
Yeah.
At that time, still riding for Planet Earth. Probably just put a Mark Wyndham board together. I want to say it was within weeks of getting that Mark Wyndham is when that kind of my time with Planet Earth ended.
And was that a mutual thing, or was that?
It was a skateboard industry thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Totally.
It was an off mic thing.
Yeah.
It's an edit point.
But it was on though.
Huh? Well,
the mic was actually turned on.
You can remind me. We'll have another beer.
Hot mic. Oh shit! I said that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did your time with Planet Earth.
Yeah. Which was great. It was awesome.
And you, I know you said you were going back and forth, from here, because I remember that, working for your dad and stuff. And then, but there's a like after that, maybe it's the late '90s. You split, but I think you started building ramps and stuff.
Well,
take me through that, because
I did the Zoo York thing.
Yeah.
For literally what was crazy, just to roll on this tangent for a second, is that we did a board, put out an ad, and within weeks, Creature started unfolding, and Russ Pope called me and propositioned Creature, which then was, literally that was my time. I've had times, and I'm only grateful, and hashtag thank you skateboarding, and edit that out.
No,
but the Creature happening at that time was just like, also being the worst, having to quit Rodney twice, but that was starting a friendship with Jason Adams, and just that whole time at NHS was rad.
That's cool. I forgot Creature, man.
Yeah,
that's and wild that you were part of that.
It ended a little weird, which is fine, because things end weird because they end. But yeah, and then to fast forward to what you're talking about is, there's a company called Scarecrow, and then Blaze's company, Subliminal. I did stuff with them for a while, with Phil Frost and Dave Aaron and everything like that, which was awesome.
Yeah.
The real estate boom happened what happened was we got bought out of our building on Grove Street, and our rent went up 3 times. Our building got bought, and our flat was now 3 times the cost that it was. And
beat it.
Yeah, and it just the timing was such that I could, pack up my minimal stuff, drive cross country, and spend a summer at Woodward. So I did that for a little while, and then just bounced around, and we built skate parks.
Yeah. Okay. So you went to Woodward, you did that, but how did you get hired? Because I know you went to China and stuff building parks.
Yeah. So Woodward's about 2 hours from where my family is in Pennsylvania. It's in central Pennsylvania, and we'd go out there and skate and help with little projects and stuff like that. This is a long time ago when it's not the mammoth enterprise that it is now. So there was always a somewhat of a relationship there. Going back, that's a mixed bag with Woodward.
Well,
yeah.
But you did build a lot of shit. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is my friend Mark Podgorski, who I came out to California with, now what would be, 10 years prior, he is kind of one of their principal builders at Woodward. And Woodward gets in bed with ESPN, and now ESPN is opening mall parks that are Woodward licensed, or vice versa, however that money works.
Sure.
We built mall parks in Philadelphia, in St. Louis, in Atlanta, and then a bunch of private stuff, all over Florida, another one in Atlanta. I mean, it's kind of...
So could you build me a quarter pipe?
A pike? Quarter pike?
A quarter pike. But I remember,
it'll cost you.
I remember being back in touch with you. I don't know, it was a while ago, whenever it was. And you're like, I was in China building stuff. And I'm like, what? What are you doing?
Oh God, that was
I don't think we kind of you.
So
went
that
off
was
that
was 2000
heard from you.
2009 to 2010. That winter, that parts of our ramp building crews and different companies got together and built that stuff in Beijing, which was amazing. It was just what I needed, because I had gotten a little loose in life for a while and let myself get away from myself a little bit. And if you need to get away from pharmaceuticals, go to Beijing for 5 months.
That'll do it.
Oh, it'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an experience I'll never trade. That was amazing.
And you were there for
we were there
5 months?
I think it was between 4 and 5 months if you take the leaving for Christmas and New Year's. You know what I learned is that hello, ni hao, cannot be understood if you don't say it right.
Right. Yeah.
I also learned that if you an open pack of cigarettes and sliding one out, like, is this your card sort of situation?
Yeah.
That could be hello also. Because I can't tell you how many people just...
You're like...
I'm good. I'm trying to quit. Hello? Ni hao? No, there were a couple others, but it's been a long time. We had Megwan Shi. I don't know. I think that roughly translates as some bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's some bullshit right there.
So, but that's pretty cool that you had those experiences and you went and built a bunch of. I mean, at least you're building skate parks, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing, and you learn those skills, which I think is really cool. I don't have those skills. I've built a bunch of ramps, but I don't have any skills.
Let's not gild the lily.
We can pluck a chicken, but we're not gilding lilies around here.
I cut the lumber. The dudes I work with, they can frame out a bowl corner.
Yeah.
I'm not framing out a bowl corner. That's not my bag. But
skating the bowl corner.
Now
that's your knapsack.
Again, flat wall. I'm a friend of flat wall, but
it's not my bag, but that's my knapsack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a rucksack.
Yeah.
It's a little ruck around the edges.
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
But yeah, it's a get in where you fit in sort of thing. I countersunk every fucking piece of skate light in that place. And that was 2.5 weeks of countersinking. And that's
a zen. That's a zen-like state, though. I mean, it's a...
Oh, it has to be. Or else it becomes pie. It's like
or else the drill goes in accidentally. You get a frontal lobotomy.
Yeah, I just need to breathe.
Barker, you have this thing called Otherness. What is it?
Otherness is a company that was started by Tom Horning, Matt O'Brien, most primarily. That also includes Shannon May and myself, Tony Cox, Brent Atchley, some other rad dudes, a couple AMs that are actually out from their little Midwest enclaves. They're in LA right now and going to be up here. And Alex Fatimi.
Oh,
yeah,
the leader.
Sick. Yeah, no, late edition. It's funny the leader's a late edition, but I mean,
expand.
So the initial idea was to do cohesive board series, like do a board series with one person's art. And Derek Snodgrass was the first round of artwork that was on our boards. We're so spread out. None of us have been in the same room together since this has started. O'Brien's in Portland, Tom's in Louisville, and Shannon's in Nolens, or probably Lafayette, I believe. You know, in the same way that guest boards are put out or appreciation boards are put out, the idea is like it's a co-appreciation brand where that's why you put this guy's art on the series. You know, it's the appreciation of, it's the inspiration of someone's art. Like, let's do this, make it cohesive. So it's kind of like, it's like just publishing someone's artwork in a different medium than they'd normally be published in. Basically, the flagship thing was a Hamburger Eyes board for the book fair. And it was a top and bottom screened.
Cool.
It's Hamburger Eyes
Poach
photograph
is the man behind it.
Yeah, but so that was the first thing, and then moving on to then we did this, like I said, the Snodgrass series, and then the Joe Roberts series. I need to scan some stuff, and I'm gonna do a series. It's cohesive.
Yeah.
And there's, again, we put out the Hamburger Eyes board, the Snodgrass series, and the Joe Roberts series. So we haven't put out enough for ourselves to get into any trouble about not being cohesive, right? So, like, we have a good track record of being on board with our theme.
So it's basically a vehicle on a vehicle.
Yeah.
A vehicle for the art on.
Exactly. It's a co-appreciation system.
I like that. A co-appreciation. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rad. Okay, so you've done quite a few things. You've written for quite a few companies, and as far as me and kind of the skate world to some degree, you went off and you did your thing like so many of us do. We just kind of were off radar, right? We fall off the map within skating, which makes sense because we're old, and we're trying to find our way through life, but. In recent years, you're like back on your board ripping, having fun, doing what you do best, dancing with yourself.
Yeah.
You're you're a curb dancer.
Well, yeah.
Dances with chickens.
Yeah. I got to put out a hat.
Put out a hat.
Yeah. Just whatever you can.
Busking.
Every little bit helps.
Slappy busking.
Yeah, I got to get back.
I like it. Slappy busking.
Slappy busking.
I like it. Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ruxpin. No, it's funny. It's like you get old, you get tired, you get sore, and then you get like you put on weight. And you're like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. And it's like, how do I have fun anymore? And you just can't force it. It's fun when it's fun.
How did you find Rockridge, or how did it find you? You know what I mean? Like,
fuck you. You showed me Rockridge. No. You and Jim.
Yeah,
honestly.
Sure. That was a long fucking time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's been a staple.
Forever.
It's been like,
sure.
It's been the reason to get on BART.
Yeah.
When I lived in San Francisco, it was always like, shit, this is too much and it's too deep. I wouldn't cut this all out, but in all the years I built skate parks and all the years I've worked at Woodward, I hold this so dear. We got kicked out of Rockridge the other day by a cop. We'll call him Darren, just because we did. He was like, you should go to the city of Oakland and have them build you a skate park. And it's just like, let's not even go down that road. Yeah. Can we just quash that? And this is something that I have proposed over and over again at Woodward. Build a parking lot. If you built a parking lot, you'd get rid of half of the world's longest fakies in the cement skate park of your area, and maybe people could skate it, because that's what happens at Woodward. It's just the world's longest fakie all day. 75 feet of forward and 75 feet of fakie. But if you had a parking lot, that's where there's a reason that there's 40 people in this parking lot and not at Emeryville and not at Berkeley Park and not at Alameda. And the cost of it is nothing. And you know what? Fuck it. Don't even build a parking lot. Just let us skate here.
Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
it's bananas.
Well, the thing is, it always trip out on, and you have these police officers come up and they're half your age, and you're just like, oh, man, we're not hurting anyone. We're not doing anything. This is a positive outlet, not only for us old fucks, but for young people too.
Yeah.
There's no cars here. It's a weekend. Bart's, we're not doing anything, and that's where, the local government and the enforcers have it wrong. They don't understand that by letting us do this activity and everyone else is that they're diminishing the possibility of other real shit happening, of the boredom of people who live in these small cities and have nothing to do and nowhere to go. And what happens? Idle hands, trouble. Everybody. I used to get into trouble all the time, man. Because it's just you need an outlet. People need outlets, and just because you get older doesn't mean you don't need a fucking outlet.
The coolest thing that we get from being at Rockridge is when there's people regulars who park there, that go out of their way to thank us for being there, because they know their shit's not getting fucked with when we're there.
That's right.
Because we actually respect the spot. There was a big to-do around Go Skateboarding Day, which Go Skateboarding Day is great, and I appreciate it and everything like that, but it's got to get away from non-permission spots. You can't go to a place where people skate.
It just gets blown out, of course.
It's gonna end spots.
Yeah, completely.
So, and
100%.
we dealt with the cops on Go Skateboarding Day.
Yeah.
And in talking to them, and when we finally herded all the cats out of there after explaining to the police that there is no one in charge, there's at that point on that day, there could have been 50 or 60 different cliques of people. Of 5 to 8 people in each of those cliques. How are you going to communicate to those people that you got to go, now? And once the masses had left, there were 3 or 4 of us with trash bags picking up all of the trash.
Yeah.
And, and then, the cops are like, oh, wow, that's pretty great. You're cleaning up after. It's like, forget that we talked. Just lose my number.
Totally.
It's crazy.
And I think this day and age, it just happened to us recently. I went to Miley. I had talked about it on my last thing with Chico, and we got kicked out. I walk up there and we got kicked out.
Wasn't that during a government shutdown?
Yeah, it was the day it opened. Of course, I hadn't been there in 2 years. The last time I'd been there before that, I got kicked out when I walked up. Literally,
no way.
Dude,
no
anyway,
way.
So so this guy's half my age, and he, the thing that irks me the most is when they go, he said, I know it's a legendary skate spot, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm just like, I've been skating here longer than you've been alive.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And it's just, but the fact that they think they're hip, and they understand, and they're trying to be some sort of empathetic in some manner, and you're like, go fuck yourself. Yeah. We're not doing anything.
Yeah.
We're not encroaching on anyone's space. We're not putting anyone out by any means of any way, shape, or form. We're not hurting anyone. And what we're doing is very positive.
Yeah.
And if you cannot see that and turn a blind eye, you're like, fuck your job. What?
Exactly. I mean, there's...
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Go away.
What's funny is the day that we were there.
So I'm just saying, when they try to be hip to dude, I know you like to, can you kick flip? Some cop, and it's
God.
Oh, dude.
Well, and what's funny is
go away.
I have to say, I have to give credit to, I think Locard throws that curb contest at DMV.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it on purpose or it was a happy accident, but the fact that they keep doing it is brilliant. They have it the day of Betabreakers. And I probably the last time I went there was, the last time I could go was 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. But there's literally 3 cop cars and a Suburban in the DMV parking lot talking shit to the skaters. Because they're there because there's some shit happening that could pop off at any minute.
Yeah. Tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, and it's just like,
streets.
But if this was a Thursday night, someone's going to roll in there and give someone tickets.
Yeah.
If there was some sort of like consistency, you know, we deal with this at Rockridge. Sometimes they come and say, you know what you do is you go to a BART meeting on a Thursday night and you ask if you guys can skate here like one weekend a month. And it's like, fuck you. If we go there and ask them and they say no, we really can't be here.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys want to play this fucking wishy-washy game about it, while grown men come here on Thursday nights with duct tape swords and beat the piss out of each other, and that's fine, and they never get kicked out,
which is bizarre.
We've got a problem.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not our problem.
And that's actually a real thing, is where like the kind of Dungeons and Dragons,
the LARPers don't get kicked out.
Game of Thrones kind of crew comes up there, right? And why they have to do it there is also really odd too.
Well, it's authentic.
I guess, I mean, I guess, you know, like during that era, medieval times, the BART track was above your head.
Well, parking lots. Look.
I get it.
Look, I'm not down talking them, because when I'm skating the curbs, I am imagining carving a creek and slapping a log, a falled log. It's fine.
It is. It drinks some mead.
Yeah. Wench mead. No, but it's super frustrating, and it just happened to come to light too. It was like, I think I said to the guy, and I was like, you know what? I've already said too much. I did 2 cartwheels. But I said to the guy, I was like, you know, man, can I just tell you, you know, I've been told I can't do this thing that I've been doing. I've been told for over 35 years that I can't do this.
Yeah.
And I can. And I can do this, and I keep getting told I can't do this, and I can't do this here, and you can't do it there. And he's like, that must be boring. And I was like, oh,
boring.
And that was when I literally walked away, and I almost did one of those, you know, those haymaker vert board throws where you clap the nose and tail, and the grip tape hits the ground like that.
Totally.
I was so close to doing that. And I was like, that is going to get me in the back of a cop car right now. And then I lightly tossed my board against the back of my truck and did 2 cartwheels. And my buddy Ian was like, he almost fell over. I was just like, it's the most non-threatening act of defiance I could think of doing. But it was just like, I mean, why not? There's no better time. Like, I'm so and they were really good cartwheels. Like, I felt like they were very vertical, and like the hand that I picked up, that next hand that went down where that hand was. Like, they were, yes.
That's a really great way to diffuse a moment. I mean, it's a very non-violent gesture.
It was.
But it is a way to.
I think also basically, I mean, if I can really break it down after the fact, it's an action that is equally as silly as getting kicked out of the parking lot. Like, it is fucking silly.
Yeah.
We're skating in an empty parking lot. This parking lot's not empty. There's a car there. There's a car there. There's a car there. Like, you're obviously not a glass half full person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and if we're honest, you just pointed at our cars. Oh yeah, and well, it's not empty. So we went to DMV. It was fun. Those curbs need a lot of work, though.
Yeah, I haven't been to DMV in a long time. I think the best days to go skating, like you were saying, like as far as is Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, hands down.
Oh yeah,
you do anything, that would be the great day to throw those.
What's a shame is those are the 2 best days to fly. Also, it's hard to do both those things.
Well, you could work on that.
Airports do have good curbs.
Thanks, dude. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.